everyone, so today we are going to be doing a liquid lipstick review and try on, which I'm so excited about. I'm especially excited because I was really curious about this brand. If you watched my Killstar haul, I think it was a couple weeks ago now, I mentioned this new company by Killstar, which is Coven Cosmetics. It's their new cosmetics line, and they have 6 liquid lipstick shades that they launched. But in that video, I told you guys that I was going to wear these liquid lipsticks a little bit longer and really get a feel for each shade, all the pros, any cons, whether or not it's worth it to get, and or which shades that I would recommend. Anything like that. Also, I wanted to try them on. You could see what it looks like with one coat or one layer, and then see what it looks like built up. I want to show all of that to you today. Also, in full transparency, Killstar sent me these liquid lipsticks to try out. So these items were gifted, but I'm not being paid to promote these products. Either way, you know I'm going to tell you how I really feel about things. Also, really quick, I will have these liquid lipsticks linked down in the description box for you. So if you're interested in them, they will be linked down there if you're looking for them. So let's jump right into this. Before, I know I want to talk about packaging, but really quick, just some general info maybe. These liquid lipsticks, these Coven Cosmetics liquid lipsticks, go for $14.99 on the website, which I feel like is a very reasonable and competitive price when it comes to liquid lipsticks. And a lot of the liquid lipsticks out there, at least my favorites out there, are within the, usually they're $18 to $20 range. So this is, I feel like, a reasonable price. $14.99 is a pretty good price for a liquid lipstick. They come in 6 different shades, which I'm going to go through each individual shade here when I do my try on and show you how they apply and what the color looks like and everything. So packaging wise, the packaging on this I really do like. It's very simple, which I like a lot. It's a rectangular packaging and it's a matte black ombre vibe. So it kind of starts off this matte black and then it tapers into the clear kind of portion where you can see the lipstick shade in there. And then on the lid, it says Coven Cosmetics in a glossy text, which I really do like that black glossy text over the matte black. Actually, it's probably one of my favorite things ever, is any sort of glossy black design over matte black is just, there's something to it I love. I will say I really like this packaging because I find it almost like, I call it elder goth, but what I mean by elder goth, it's more of like a grown-up goth feel. So I really like that about this packaging. It's almost something you could leave out on your vanity or on your sink or wherever you're keeping your makeup and put it on display. And it's just a very simple, clean, but still dark aesthetic. So I really like the aesthetic of this packaging. So anyways, that's kind of how I feel about the packaging. It's very much like any other liquid lipstick where the top screws off and then you have your wand. So now we're getting into the wand and I'm all excited and worked up about this wand. I don't think I've been so excited about something that's like literally just a lipstick wand in my whole life. But here we are. I'll show you up close what I mean and I'll see if I can get any other brands. I pulled one of them to show you, but I'm going to pull a couple other ones to do an up close look so you can see what I mean when I'm talking about this wand. So anyways, the first time I applied this liquid lipstick, I have a hair in my mouth. The first thing that stood out to me when I was applying this liquid lipstick was how easily I was able, like if you watched my liquid lipstick tutorial, I usually go in with a lip brush and I outline my lips so I can get a really sharp line and then I fill it in with just the regular applicator. And I immediately noticed how easily this went on the lips and how easy it was to get into any small parts of the lip, like in the corners. Also to outline my lip, I didn't even use a brush. I think the trick to it, and I noticed this when I was like, wait, what kind of sorcery is this? I looked at it and I noticed that this, first of all, is much longer than I've seen on a lot of different liquid lipsticks. And it's got this taper to it, like a very obvious taper. It's a little bit more rounded off than a point, but it's definitely tapered where you can get into detailed areas. And there's a very obvious curve where it's very comfortable on the lip. Like it just really goes on nicely and glides over the lip. It almost like fits over the lip. It's just a really nice, smooth application. And almost I can even see it here with that scoop in there, it's almost like the lipstick kind of pools into that curve. I can just see it right now looking at it. That helps get a really nice opaque layer going. Also, with that curve, it allows that tip to be very, very like thin. So it can get, like, you can just get into the areas, like the outline of the lip. Like, it's not too big to outline, if that makes sense. Like, some applicators just feel like that. And it's a really nice, flexible, I mean, this thing is a very nice wand applicator, but I do feel like this is a very well thought out design. Even if it was just an option, like, hey, this is what we have, I feel like it was a conscious choice that was made, and a very good choice, because this applicator is on another level, and something that I feel like, especially when it comes to liquid lipsticks, I feel like more brands would think of that. Like, hey, if you have to have a precise application, who wants just like a basic applicator? And I guess my point is I've seen very, very, very simple applicators, very baseline applicators for way higher price points. Long story longer, I'm a big fan of the applicator. All right, so let's jump right into the try on, which I filmed separately so you could see what the liquid lipstick looks like without any sort of fancy makeup. I didn't want any distractions, so let's jump into the try on. Let's go there, let's do it. So here we are, we're gonna do a little try on situation. All right, I'm gonna start with the ones that don't have a bunch of red in them so I can easily take them off and switch shades. Sometimes with the red, it just likes to spread around my face a little bit. So I think we're gonna start with this shade here, because I think this is the lightest shade of the bunch. This one is called Dusk. I love this shade. This might be one of my favorite shades in the whole collection. It's this really, really pretty, I call it a dusty rose color. And I'll just try it on first. Okay, let me just zoom you in to my lips, and let me just tell you, my lips are a whole mess right now because we had just a blast of cold air come through here where it was like -28. My poor lips are so dry and I'm like eating them alive. I'm like Hannibal Lecter over here. Anyways, I'm gonna put this on and I'm gonna show you what this applicator does. Let me see if I can zoom you in even more. Oh God. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. It just makes it so easy. And I like to overline a little bit. Don't judge me. This line, it just went right in there. I don't even know what kind of sorcery this applicator is or what's going on. All right, and now I'm gonna put it on my cratered bottom lip that's literally like chewed up meat right now. Oh Lord. Literally looks a whole mess. Oh no, dry skin. It's literally dry skin coming off my wand. Oh Lord. And that's on the dead of winter. I love this shade so much because I feel like this one could definitely be more of an everyday wear type of shade. And it's going to look different, of course, on all different skin tones. And actually on the Killstar website, they show each lip shade on different skin tones. So if you want to see that, I'll have everything linked in the description box for you. But just to even see how it applies and the formula and how it's really nice and opaque. All liquid lipsticks to me feel a little drying, so I'd be lying if I said, oh, this is super moisturizing. It's just not how liquid lipsticks work, in my opinion. But it's not heavy. It feels really nice on the lips, very comfortable. All right, so I'm gonna show you how I take this off because they don't come off easily without makeup remover or oil. I always recommend some sort of oil, or if you have a balm, like a makeup removing balm or anything like that. I'll show you the difference just in case you've never tried a balm or oil and you want to see the difference between just a makeup wipe and a makeup balm and taking off liquid lipstick. All right, so here's the wipe and I'll show you. So it kind of requires me to get a little rough and in there, and I don't really want to do that because my lips are already angry at me. It still will come off. If you can see there, it's still coming off, but I got this balm in my BoxyCharm. This is the Pharmacy Very Cherry Clean, and it's just a makeup melt away cleansing balm, and I just take a little bit and rub my fingers together and put it all over my lips, and just kind of like an oil. So any oil I say is good. Like for the lips, coconut oil too, if you have some, is good for removing makeup on the lips. I don't recommend it all over the face to remove makeup just because I've heard stories about it clogging pores, which is not a good thing. But I think it works great for removing liquid lipstick or any sort of oil will take it off. I mean, edible oil, let me put it that way. Okay. And then I just go in with my wipe and it just easily comes off. Makes it so much easier. And then that way my lips don't get so dried out in this process. They're not going to be horribly damaged. They're probably still going to feel terrible, but. Next up, let's go for this one. This is the shade Haven. It's a really pretty pumpkin shade. I think I tried to go on some diatribe about it during my Killstar haul. I was like, oh, it's like this orangey brick color. Anyways, I'll put this on and show you. Less jabbing my jaws, more applying lipstick. Okay. Gotta mentally prepare my lips. All right. This applicator is so good. God. Right, maybe I was right when I went on my whole diatribe. This is definitely on the orange side of red, or like if there was a little bit of red to a pumpkin color. Also, the application on this one, this is very, very opaque, very easy to apply, and honestly just really nice and comfortable on the lips. Very like flexible, and I just want to like stretch my lips around like this to test it. I'm a weirdo. Okay, and we're gonna put a second layer on. Let's zoom you in for this one. And it just, you can tell when it's going on that second layer, it's almost melting into the other layer. It's not trying to sit on top of it or ball up or crust up. It's literally just trying to melt into the other layer, going right on. Really nice. It doesn't even feel unnatural. Like sometimes when you layer up some of these liquid lipsticks, it just feels like too much. Just that it's not as flexible on the lips when you start layering up. This one is still really nice, and I'm sorry, making the weirdest faces. It definitely has more of a darker brick color to it when you add another layer, but it is so beautiful. This is like the perfect fall color. Also, when reapplying, I'll show you what it's like. Like if I eat something, oily, and let's say, this is what usually happens. My whole lower lip all comes off, or not all of it, it's just some of it. Kind of just, it looks like a whole 90s lip liner situation essentially. Just go in and touch up, and you can see it's not doing this weird thing that some liquid lipsticks do this, where when you go to blend it into the other part, the layer that you had on before, it'll just layer, like it'll just sit on top of it and almost look like it's gonna peel off, or look like it's like a crusty, chapped lip, dry skin situation sometimes. If you know, I feel like you know. This is not one of them. All of this down here was the old layer, and you really cannot tell. So those other layers just melt right into that layer. I don't know what kind of, once again, sorcery this is, but I'm a really big fan of this formula. Just love that it can be reapplied. That's one of my biggest beefs with some liquid lipsticks, is that they cannot be reapplied. So just to save some time, I went ahead and removed that one off camera. Moving on to another one of my favorite shades. This is the shade Void, which is just a black shade, and I love a good black lipstick. It's one of my favorite shades to wear. I mean, look how opaque that is. Are you zoomed in enough? I don't think so. Get closer. This opacity though. Do I have a booger in there? I don't know what that is. Look at that line. I feel like that's a really good line. I'll just show you with one swipe across the lower lip, just because it's a bigger lip. Let's do it. Just that one swipe. Ignore the crustiness, if you can see past it. It is so opaque. And I feel like that's a really big deal, because the last thing I want is a patchy ass black lipstick. Ruins my whole day. This one reminds me a lot of my favorite black lipstick of all time, which is the Lime Crime Black Velvet. If you're familiar with and like the Lime Crime formulation, it's very opaque, just like the Lime Crime formula. It's very, I don't know, it's very liquidy like that formula, so it's not too thick. This might be my new favorite black lipstick formula. Anyways, I love this color. I'm obsessed. I don't know if I'll ever get over black lipstick, but this is a good one. All right, next up I'm gonna go for the shade Lenore. This one is more of like a corally, pinky, I don't know, I'll just put it on and I'll show you. I went a little outside the lip line on this one, to say the least. Uh-oh. Going in with a thick second coat on accident. Might as well do this bottom part again to even it all out. Oh my gosh, look how flexible. This whole applicator is the most comfortable thing on earth. It just moves around. Look at that. It's just so easy. It's like so comfortable. I'm almost getting out of control because I'm just like, oh. So this one is definitely more of a corally, it's like a deep coral pink shade. This one is really, really, really pretty. If you like coral shades, or especially if you like a warm tone to your skin, I love coral shades on warmer skin tones. But it really goes on nice, really opaque, really smooth, comfortable. Once again, very much like the other ones, where it just feels really nice on the lips. Very light. And this one is one of those that just goes on really opaque. Actually, all of them have gone on really opaque. So it's, if you want to put on a second layer, it doesn't mess with the consistency. So it just kind of makes it a little bit deeper, is what I've realized with these liquid lipsticks, which I like that option. God, my shriveled ass worm lips. Okay, moving on. What shade do we have next? I think we're gonna go with the red shade. This shade is so pretty. Now my lips are permanently pink. I did have a little bit of staining with the Lenore shade, but I feel like that happens to me whenever I get like really pinky shades or red shades. Anything that has a lot of red in it will stain my lips or my skin. You can see there might be a little bit of a pink tint still on my lips. Anyways, moving on to the shade Vampire. And we're gonna put this on. This is a red shade. It's like a cherry red. All right, so here's the Vampire shade, coat number 1. I'm gonna do a second coat to kind of deepen it a little bit. Let me tell you the first thing, just speaking now, when I first wore this shade, my lips weren't nearly as dry as they are right now. I need to go exfoliate and moisturize after this video. And normally with a red lipstick, any of those little dry areas is like a different skin texture on your lips, like if they're healing, red shades, for whatever reason, really like to cling right to that dry spot and turn a really dark red. That is not happening here at the bottom with those crusty areas. It's actually kind of smoothing them out and flattening them and kind of filling it in a little bit, so you can't even really tell how dry they are, which is great. It is looking slightly patchy on the top, but that's because I went in with a couple of layers, I think, and I like to do that on my top lip. I like to go in again, and I shouldn't have done that because I was trying to just get one coat. But still, you can see it's kind of like a red, really nice, pretty cherry red, and my teeth look nice and white. There's nothing worse than a red lipstick that makes your teeth look yellow. That is if you smile, which I don't do a whole lot of, but you know. All right, so I'm gonna go in with a second coat. The second coat is beautiful. It's just making that red color super rich. So pretty. This is the perfect kind of pin-up red. It's a little bit richer, a little bit darker, so you can get a little bit more of a vampy vibe, but to me this is like a classic red lip. But anyways, love this red lip. Really, really nice. That second coat went on really, really great. Once again, doesn't look patchy, doesn't have any areas that it's clinging to or look darker in some areas and not other areas, which I guess is what patchy is. Anyway, so the next shade is called Eternal, and this shade might be my new favorite liquid lipstick shade. I feel like I've said that about all these, but this one really is. I cannot stop wearing this one. Of all of the shades, I was the most nervous about this one, and I was the most impressed by this one because it is this dark, vampy purple shade, and I have been looking for a dark vampy purple that is not patchy. Literally every time I've tried this shade, it's been patchy, no matter the brand, until I found this one. I'm gonna apply it and show you what it looks like because I'm just so excited about this. All right. Oh God. Look at that saturation. Usually the shades like this are so thin. And it's not even like they're thin. Maybe they are thin, but they just absorb into the skin super quickly and then it's patchy. And this one is not like that. This is a whole other, it's like this really incredible plum shade. And that's, okay, I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the black lipstick so you can see on the bottom lip. Look at that. Look at that. And like, so excited about this shade. I can't even tell you. But what I will say about this shade too that I love so much, it doesn't get the halo. And that's the other issue I typically have with this color, is I get a lot of bleeding. So whether that means into fine lines, maybe into the crack of my mouth, or I'll get like this halo around my lips in general where it's like this really nice dark saturated look, but then there's like a pink halo around it. If you've had that problem before with lipsticks like this, then you know. But this one doesn't do that at all. It's just this really, really beautiful, deep purple. Almost looks black in certain lights. And I'm gonna put another coat on just so you can see, but it basically just makes it richer and darker. This one is a home run. This is so good. This might be their best shade in the lineup. I mean, I think their black shade is really strong too. Also really love that Dusk shade. I love all the shades. I think they're all beautiful on. The formula's great. I don't think there's one shade that I'm like, this is not, like the formula's not there. Every single shade, like the formula in general is beautiful. Hold on, like just really click. I think it's just preference, honestly. Like what you wear. Anyway. God, this just, the second layer, it's just like, I'm like, because it's just going on so nice and smooth. This definitely looks darker, closer to black with that second layer. I'll show you up close if you want to see. But that second layer, the fact that it just looks like, your lips going in with that second layer is just amazing to me. But what I was saying is that all the shades are really great because the formula is incredible. It's really just going to depend on your preference, like what shades you like to wear and that kind of stuff. I would say the most unique shade out of all of them, I do really like the Dusk shade. I do think that one's super unique because it's like a gray-ish, mauve-ish rose color. But this Eternal shade is the one that just stands out to me. And I know that there were a couple of you in some of my, I don't know if it was my haul video or just on my Instagram or whatnot, quite a few of you have said the same thing about the Eternal shade, that it's a must-have, that it's so good, that you've been wearing it nonstop. Same here. I cannot get enough of it. Also, I will say that this Eternal shade is another one. The red one, what is this? Vampire, Lenore, and Eternal. All three of these they definitely have red undertones or pinky undertones. So all three of these do stain my skin. So the Eternal shade does stain, I will say that. But it's not really a big deal. I take it off, the stain is there for like overnight, and I wash my face the next day and it's gone. So it doesn't stick around super long. And also that happens to me with just about every single dark purple or red lipstick with any brand. So it's not anything that was like that happened with this brand that doesn't happen with other brands. So I will put that out there just because it's worth mentioning in case that also happens to you. Anyway, so I'm gonna meet you back here with some final thoughts and just a final little send off. All right, we are back for some final thoughts. First and foremost, I was very, very nervous to try this product. Not gonna lie, I feel like a lot of us out there have been burned by brands or people or companies that we really like, and then they want to get in on this makeup thing, you know, and it feels a little rushed, or the quality is not there, or it's just not what you thought it was going to be. This is definitely not one of those things. At least in my opinion, based on the formula, based on the wand and the applicator, that kind of thing, I feel like there's so many things they could have done if they just wanted to throw a liquid lipstick out there or throw a makeup brand out there. So I do feel like this was well thought out. To me, I think this formula is comparable to the big guys. I'm just so excited for Killstar and this new endeavor, Coven Cosmetics, because they knocked it out of the park with the formulas and the shades. I feel like there's a really good mix of warm tones and cool tones. My favorite shade in the whole collection is definitely Eternal. I think all of the shades are beautiful, but there's something about Eternal that it is just this dark, purplish, plumish, wine-ish, I don't even know how to describe it, that I've been wanting, that is truly opaque. It is unique in that way. If you're into dark lipsticks, I would definitely give the Eternal shade a try, because it is just, like, I would say definitely get the black lipstick because I'm a huge black lipstick fan. But because Eternal is so unique, I want to tell everyone to run out and get it immediately, because it's just such a good dark purple shade. And it's a little bit different, so it just kind of mixes it up a little bit, but it's still dark. None of the lipsticks have had any flakiness I've experienced. Yes, they all come off when you're eating something really oily, but that's gonna be, any liquid lipstick out there is gonna come off when you're eating something oily. But in my experience, reapplying has been really easy. It doesn't get crusty or too thick in the areas that still had some lipstick intact. Also, I just washed my mask and none of the shades came off on my mask. Usually the only shades that do are anything that have reds in them, so like the Eternal shade or the Vampire shade maybe, but I didn't have any problem. This Eternal shade is pure magic. The only thing I can think of is, which this happens with every single liquid lipstick in my experience, is it will transfer to my chin sometimes. If I'm drinking something and I'm a little bit oily, my bottom lip hits my chin and it will leave a little mark there. But that happens to me with every single lipstick. If I'm oily or sweaty at all and that happens, or I'm eating something oily, it will transfer to my chin. It just happens. I just wipe it off. I just rub it with my finger and then touch up with my little sponge, and it's fine. Let me know if you try it, how you feel about it. Let me know down in the comments. And if you've tried it, let me know if you liked it down in the comments. But anyways, hopefully I didn't miss talking about anything. If I did, let me know in the comments. I'll try to answer any questions you have. As far as ingredients and all that stuff, I believe all that's on the website, so I'll have all that down in the description box for you. Anyways, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this little Coven Cosmetics review and try on. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up, say hey ghoul hey down in the comments, because you know I love talking to you. Also, once again, let me know if you have any questions. Yeah, I am so excited for these new liquid lipsticks. It's like my new favorites. I'm wearing them every day. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.